Hello. Today I wanted to talk about Proverbs 3, verses 5 through 8. They go, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to him, and he will make your path straight. Do not be wise in your own eyes. Fear the Lord and shun evil. This will bring health to your body and nourishment to your bones." So it could be so easy to think that you're going the right way in life. Everything can be like working out or seem to be going out just fine, and then everything seems to make sense, right? So it's when times get rough or when things aren't going as planned that we tend to wonder why God isn't protecting us the way we think God's supposed to. And perhaps it's because we place our trust in the path and not in God. So the passage says, well, at least it doesn't say that the path is going to make itself straight, or that we can make the path straight. It says that God will make your path straight. So God's going to provide the path as long as you trust him. So how do we allow God to make that path straight? We must submit to the Lord in all we do. It's tough. So tough. We see in the Bible that Abraham had a hard time submitting everything to the Lord, because at least in the beginning in Genesis 12, God tells Abram, before he's called Abraham, "I will make you into a great nation." God begins to direct Abram's path. Later in Genesis 16, Abram's wife Sarai, before she's called Sarah, told Abram to sleep with her slave Hagar. Um, is This wasn't God's plan. This wasn't what God intended. This leads to the birth of Ishmael, and then subsequently Hagar has this pride and this contempt towards Sarai. Sarai is not feeling this at all. She banishes Hagar, so Ishmael is forced to suffer as a result of this lack of following God's plan. Impatience, pride, jealousy, and anger all resulted from a lack of trust in God's provision. Later in Exodus, the Israelites struggled to wait on Moses' return from Mount Sinai, so they had Moses' brother Aaron begin the construction of a god for them to serve, a golden calf. And they were worshiping that instead of the one true God. So the rest of the Old Testament displays God constantly showing the way that he wants his people to go, and how for the vast majority of the time they just don't listen. In the New Testament, in Matthew 14:22, Peter wanted to walk on water to meet Jesus, and though the path was right in front of Peter, like he could see Jesus right there, everything around him caused him to not trust God like it had been doing. The wind and the rain became too much. These are just a few instances where people that God has chosen fall victim to distrust or evil desires, or the very things that the Proverbs warn about. So David, Solomon's father, says in Psalm 22:1-4, "The Lord is my shepherd; I lack nothing. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside quiet waters. He refreshes my soul. He guides me along the right path for his name's sake. Even though I walk through the darkest valley, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me." So, this is the health and, for your body and nourishment for your bones that, the proverb mentions. David in Psalm 23 discusses like how he's led by God, and, what the results are. Later, David writes in his poem that, God sets up a table for David among David's enemies, yet he's protected. So we're gonna experience opposing forces. That's inevitable, and we do have an enemy, Satan. So, like, who desires to tear us down at each and every turn. We also know, though, um, that we should do what Jesus says in James 4:7. Submit yourselves then to God. Resist the devil, and he will flee from you. So you may be physically unwell at the time or in a position where the devil will try to tempt you, but when you turn away from evil, no matter what your physical reality may be, trusting Jesus and shunning evil will indeed, lead to nourishment for your body in eternity. We don't always know where we're going. A friend of mine told me something about something he had heard from a pastor at his church once. He said the pastor said to turn off all lights in the room and then turn on a flashlight. That's what God gives you. God may not give you what you want, but He will always give you what you need, so you'll be equipped for that next step on the path that He's making straight for you. So I hope to trust God a little bit more today. I hope that you all do as well. Again, He's going to make the path straight. We may not know what the path's going to look like. We may not know what's going to be on either side, and we may not know whether the path is going to be, smooth, rough. But we know that God's going to guide us, and that's the most important part of it. And that's something that we can take solace and have our hope in God leading us and guiding us along the way. So yes, God bless. Thank y'all so much.